Hello guys, I'm Desmond Yo.
And I'm Trisha, and today we'll be sharing with you about One Marina Gardens. You'll be hearing this word OMG quite a fair bit in this project. Okay, it's in the Singapore Core Central region, and also think about Marina Bay, Shenton Way, and all the projects around this area in Tanjong Pagar as well. So we will be breaking down the project and also share with you tips on spotting a good buy in this location as well.
Yeah, because this is the first launch for the year in the CCR, and there will be more launches coming up in this area this year. So for mass market condo, layout matters. But for a luxury project like D9 and 10, it all is about entrance and the overall feel. It has to scream luxury. But in the CBD area, most buyers are actually investors. They are eyeing at 1 and 2 bedders, and oh my god, it's nearly 70% that. Their top concern, rental yield. We dive into that later on.
Well, high rent doesn't always mean a high rental yield, right, Desmond? If we look at Warwick residence, for example, it commands a very high rent every month, but with a higher purchasing price as well. So the yield isn't necessarily better than the other condos nearby also.
That's right. So for a good investment, we are talking about strong rental yield and a reasonable price. This matters for exit in future too, because future buyers care about the yield. That's why some condos sell at the loss to attract buyers, while some condos make a profit.
So OMG is the first project in this township that will be in this transformation area. It also has a twin towers with some units boasting views of the Marina Bay, Sentosa, as well as the gardens by the bay.
Yeah, so let's look at the artist's impression of this particular project. Wow, it looks so nice. Yes, URA also have some future transformation going on in that area. So this is something that investor can take note to. So this is the basic information. This developer is Kingsford, and it's Kingsford first primed area project. 937 units and TOP in 2029.
More than 70% of the units are 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom, which is also what investors love. Am I right to say that?
Yes, that's right. And also, the bigger units like 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom generally is for own stay. One thing that makes OMG unique is that there are going to be 3 bedroom dual key units. Means that it's going to add another 58 more units, 1 bedder and 2 bedder. Why? Because in CBD, it usually caters to tenants that are like singles or couples.
So which unit should you pick? Well, if the 2 bedroom with the bay views aren't too hefty in the price tag, you should totally go for it. But if it's on the pricier side, well, then you might want to skip it as well. So in the next few moments, we'll be going through with you the unit analysis in the project as well. So next, Desmond, let's go into the 1 bedroom analysis, shall we? Okay, there are 8 unit types and 2 sizes for 1 bedroom, 420 square feet and 431 square feet. Layouts are also very similar. So tenants don't really mind since they are looking at a short-term period. So if it's for investment, I would say just go for the cheapest unit. So we actually managed to get down to the show flat that day, and the rooms are quite spacious, I must say. And the master is at 10.5 square meters, which is really great for rental if you ask me. Plus, all the rooms have a regular shape, unlike the sale at Marina Bay, where some of the layout actually have quite odd shape. But with that, they still managed to rent out at a pretty good rent, right?
Yeah, so we have to reiterate the importance of the layout in CBD area. It is not an important issue. So you see, even for the sale, it has odd layout, right? But it still rent out pretty well. So this is one thing to reassure that investors are really not looking at layout when they are buying and investing in CBD units.
Okay, so now we are moving into the 1 bedroom price prediction for the rental. So for OMG 1 bedroom units, they are around 420 to 430 square feet, while the older projects like the sale at Marina Bay has units from 600 square feet all the way to 800 square feet. So take Marina 1 for example, it's 1 bedroom, 700 square feet, rents are about 5,000 to 8,000 per month. So can OMG easily hit about, say, 5,000 a month? What do you think, Desmond?
Let's look at some of the numbers from the CBD developments, starting from Tanjong Pagar, because it's a hot spot for the expat tenant. How about it? So we look at the Tanjong Pagar, 1 bedder rental. We'll be taking 3 projects out to look at their rental. First, we'll take Icon Village. Second is Sky Suites at Anson. And third is
also the Altez, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So no matter the size of the 1 bedroom, you notice that the rental income is pretty similar in a CBD area for a 1 bedroom. The Icon smaller 1 bedroom is around ranging from 500 to 600 square feet, and as the size increases, the rental PSF drops. That's quite interesting. So in the CBD, rental PSF is a key because tenants mostly expats, singles or couples, they are actually more price sensitive to the rent, and also the convenience is key. If size is a priority, they will likely go into places like in RCR or OCR region for bigger units at a smaller price as well.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so let's take a look at Skysway at Anson. It has one of the smallest one-bedroom unit in the whole area, about 360 square feet. It's like an ensuite, right? But you can fetch a rent of $3,600. This means that it is more than $10 per square feet in rental, which is much higher than most of the development in the area.
And in Altes itself, a 500 to 600 square feet one-bedroom unit rents out for about $4,500. So this gives a rental PSF of over $8. Well, meanwhile, an 800 to 900 square feet unit for rents about $5,600 with a rental PSF of about $6.60 per square feet. So does a bigger one-bedroom really make sense for investors? This is the question. Only if the price difference is small, because that would mean a better rental yield for the investors out there.
Yeah, that's right. So later on, we will go into the rental yield, okay? So now let's look at the one bedder in the Marina area, because it will be closer to OMG already. There are 3 projects that we are taking out to compare. First is the sale at Marina. Second, we will look at Marina Bay Residence. And the third, we will look at Marina One Residence.
So the sale at Marina, based on previous prices, we look at the rental yield itself is about 4.3%, and the next would be the Marina Bay Residence, that's about 4.9%. That's actually very solid if you ask me. And then comes Marina One Residence, that's the newer one, that's about 3.8%.
Yeah, that's right. So if you look at Marina One Residence, right, because of the purchase price, the purchase
they
price
actually
is
purchase
higher.
much higher.
Yeah, that's right. So that's the reason why the rental yield is not as attractive. So when the investor look at it, the investor will like, maybe I'll look at the sale, or maybe I'll look at the Marina Bay
Because
Residence.
3% compared to the 4.3%.
Yeah, that's right. So with the performance of these 3 condos from 2020 till now, if you look at the chart, you will see a decline in Marina One Residence prices. Look at the yellow line, it is more than 9% decline in overall price.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
That's the reason why, when we talk about Marina Bay, CCR units, right, a lot of the people say, hey, yeah, they always lose money. But we always do stats, we always do chart to show our investor not all projects lose money, right or not? Yeah, because some of it really good, earn very good rental, right? So if you look at Marina One, why it keep losing? It's the one of reason, because of rental yield.
Because investors in this low area are actually very sensitive to numbers. They are monitoring rental yield as well, and the rental yield have actually been dropping. So the sale is actually hovering at 4.3 to 4.5%, like we mentioned earlier, and Marina Bay at 4.9%. So we can say that the overall, most investors will be more inclined to something above a 4% rental yield.
Yes,
That would be something
yes.
more healthy in this area itself. So we have to remember that the buyers coming into this location is all going to be investors. So they are going to make investment a priority. It's not going to be own stay or the views or the size. It's all about the numbers. So it is crucial that once you get your keys, you rent it out as soon as possible, or actually even few months before you get your keys, you start to lease your unit out for rent, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do for your owners as well.
Correct.
And not wait for the highest rental yield, because every month there will be a vacancy period, so you are losing out on a monthly rent as well. However, when you are planning to sell your unit, you need to strategize, because you need to bring in one of the highest rental to lock in for your next buyer who's buying from you.
So in order to achieve a rental yield of at least 4.2%, so if let's say we are looking at 4.2%, if we have purchased at 1.2 million and we can rent out at 4,002 at $10 per square feet, then you can achieve 4.2, which is, it makes sense. But to be honest, although the starting price is at 1.16 million, I don't think there are many units that 1.2 million. Maybe some of you who are luckier will be able to get at this price. So, but if let's say we are looking at $11 rental, okay, the 4.2% will be at 4,006, which is more realistic.
So even if you are not so lucky with your ballot number and you get a unit about 1.3, about the range of 1.3, but if you are able to rent out at $11 per square feet, you can still get a rental yield of at least 4.2%.
Correct, that's right.
So now let's talk about the strategy for your future rental exit. We know that the smaller units fetch a higher rental per square feet, right? So Sky Suites is around $10 per square feet, and Altez, you mentioned earlier, was around $9 per square feet. So we predict OMG residents to be around $11 per square feet in the next 4 years. So using $11 per square feet, for an example, renting at $4,620 gives us about a 4.2% yield. So that's actually pretty healthy. So meaning you buy in price should be around below 1.3 million and you manage to rent at $12 per square feet. So that gives you a 4.2% yield and attract buyers at 1.45 mil. And at 4.2% yield, you'll be able to attract buyers for 1.45 million quantum.
That's where the profit potential comes in. For one bedroom unit, strong rental yield and demand can drive resale prices. If you buy at 1.25 million, later sell for 100 to 200,000 profit, this is a very solid exit plan already. So Trisha, I got a question to ask you. With 1.2 to 1.25 million nowadays, what can you buy?
Well, you'll be mostly looking at resale condos, like for example, Sengkang Grand Residence. This is going to be at OCR area. But if you can get a CCR unit at such an attractive quantum, this is actually really pretty attractive.
Yeah, that's really true. Compared to the new launches like Lentor, Park Town and Ori, one bedder is around that price, right? So the bottom line is
It's your
about
purchase price.
that's
well,
right.
It impacts your rental yield and eventually your exit strategy in the property as well.
Yes, correct. So of course, over here we'll be sharing with you the rental amount that you can get from Lentor, Katong or Toa Payoh, okay, versus One Marina Gardens. So this is something for investors to take reference lah, okay, the numbers. So moving on, we'll be going into the 2-bedroom. There are a few 2-bedroom types. All are 2 bedrooms with 2 baths. Something that we all prefer. Okay?
Yeah, because it comes with the enclosed kitchen as well.
Some of it,
and
yeah.
some of the units also come with the study or bomb shelter.
Correct. With the bomb shelter is very good because at least you've got some proper storage space. Correct or not?
Smallest 2-bedroom is 646 square feet and the second smallest would be the 678 square feet.
With the study, correct. And then with the bomb shelter is about 689 square feet. Okay, so let's dive into the 2-bedder rental in Marina Bay area and also Tanjong Pagar area again. So let's look at Tanjong Pagar area. Now we are looking at Sky Suites again. Okay, Sky Suites fetches about $8 plus rental per square feet. Icon is about $6 plus rental per square feet. Altez is also about $6 plus rental per square feet. So 2-bedroom in Sky Suite fetches about $8 plus per square feet, okay, for rental. Icon is about $6 plus. Altez is also at $6 plus, but Altez is about 1,000 to 1,002 square feet. So again, if you look at our analysis, the smaller the unit,
The higher the rental per square feet.
yes, that's right. So let's take a look at the 2-bedroom rental yield in the Marina Bay area. So if you look at the sale is going for
about 3.6 rental yield.
Marina 1?
It's at 3.9% and the Marina Bay at 4.4%.
Correct. So I think that if we were to be able to purchase OMG 2-bedder, we will be hoping to achieve about 3.9 to 4%. Yeah, rental yield,
of course,
I think.
depending on the price on the launch day.
Yeah, correct. So let's take a look at the One Marina Gardens 2-bedder rental prediction. Okay, so we will want to achieve about 4% rental yield. Okay, if we're able to achieve 4% rental yield, we'll be looking about at $10, and the purchase price should not be more than
1.9. Yeah.
So in this case, I would say that maybe the 1-bedroom
will be more attractive, and also the 1-bedroom there's a higher quantity of units available.
and the quantum is lower, but the yield tends to be higher in this area. So bearing in mind, with 1.2 million budget, there are not much choices
New project.
Yeah.
Of course, resale there are plenty in the
Correct.
market.
So I would really think that One Marina Garden would be a very good choice to consider this year for the price tag. If you are able to achieve about $11 rental in future per square feet, you'll be able to make quite a good profits there. You look at the chart again, $11 means selling at 2.1 million, above 2.15 million. So if you are able to buy a 2-bedroom unit about 1.9 million,
And in future, maybe probably fetch about $11 per square feet rental.
Yes.
you'll be able to make quite some good profits there.
Yes, correct.
So
If
we
you
have
look-
done up also a chart for you over here. If you are able to rent it out at $9, $10 or $11 per square feet, and also your suggested purchase price on that day itself, these will guarantee you at least a 4% rental yield.
Correct. So bear in mind, there are some projects in the city fringe that are already selling at 1.8 million, but their rental is definitely not as high as the CCR units, to be honest. So ultimately, this video that we are sharing with our viewers is to tell you a safe price to enter into OMG for each unit type. So if you need to understand better, then you can reach out to us and we'll try our best to help you.
So now moving on into the 3-bedroom analysis. Over here we can see that the 3-bedroom dual key unit, a 969 square feet, I would say that for a dual key unit you can essentially get a much higher rental yield because you rent out one individual unit each, having to pay only one stamp duty. So okay, if we look at the purchase price of say about 2.8 million, and that's about 2009 per square feet. Okay, and we rent out for about $10 per square feet for the 1-bedroom side, and also for the 2-bedroom side about $9 per square feet. That's actually quite conservative. I would say that you can still get a rental yield about 3.9.
Yes, 3.9%. What we feel that you are able to rent out will probably at $11 for 1 bedroom and $10 for 2 bedroom, then it will be coming about 11,000 total rental. And this means that your rental yield will be quite high for a dual key unit like this. That's one of the reasons why I really like the 3-bedroom dual key in this development. I think it's really good for investors to consider.
So in general, most people tend to avoid the dual key units in a project because they actually affect their own privacy if they are buying for own stay, and also because the future buyers who are buying from you are actually lesser, because it means that the most of the buyers buying from you are going to be only investors. Because if I want to buy it for own stay, I want a proper 3-bedroom where I'll get more common space area and not have my privacy being compensated as well. So, but in OMG, it's going to be different because like we have mentioned earlier, the buyers that are buying from you are going to be mostly investors in that project itself. So the buyers are going to be very focused on the rental yield. So if you're able to push up your rental, so like we mentioned earlier, $10 per square feet, $11 per square feet, then your unit becomes even more attractive as a dual key unit. And also to take note, in the OMG residence, there's only one step for dual key units. If you can even get that lucky to get the one of the 29 units.
So to summarize this video, the big units for 3-bedder and 4-bedder, good layout for own stays, but low rental yield. So what we are going to tell all our viewers is that focus on rental yield if you are buying OMG for investment purpose.
And we'll be sharing on how to shortlist the unit based on developer pricing strategy later.
So we will not talk so much into the 3-bedroom and a 4-bedroom. They are of very good layout, definitely. Very ideal for own stay, but I don't think many families will want to stay in that area now. But if you like to wake up to a nice view every morning, see the Gardens by the Bay or Marina Bay set, then that's a good choice for you. But for the rest of the investors, the bigger units like the 3-bedroom, premium and the 4-bedder are very good layouts for own stay. But we must bear in mind, they will consider as a very low rental yield. What we want for our viewers to understand is to focus on the rental yield. So now Tricia also will share with you how to shortlist units based on the developer pricing strategy.
So we all know that in the recent Trump Park launch, it's also launched by Kingsford developer. So in terms of the good facing versus the not so good facings, there's also going to be some substantial difference as well. Especially if you look at Normanton Park, there was quite a fair bit of difference between the park facing units and the non-park facing unit. In OMG residence, likely there will be two situations, and we'll be sharing with you how to select on the balloting day itself. So for strategy 1, we'll pick 2 units, one from the premium stack and one from the non-premium stack, on different floors as well, one on a high floor, probably one on a mid floor, and check if there's a big price jump in the per unit, per level first. So you always check what's the per floor jump first. If the per floor jump price is small, so the mid to higher floors will be a bit better bet.
So compare the bay facing units versus the non-bay facing units in PSF. If the price difference is under 5%, then I would suggest that go for the bay. But if the price difference is more than 5%, then I would think that the non-bay facing might be a better deal.
So it might sound a little complicated, but do reach out to any of us. We will help you to work out the numbers.
So the next slide that we're going to share with you is the resale market in the Marina Bay area versus One Marina Gardens indicative pricing.
So this will also let you know whether you are buying it at a safe entry price.
Yeah, that's right. So we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and 4 bedroom prices for the developments in the Marina Bay area. So the next thing that is very important to take note is that the latest land bid. The latest land bid this year by Singhai Yi for Bayshore plot was actually at $1,388, which
That's
is quite
pretty high.
high. Yeah, because for this land bid, for this One Marina Gardens is only at $1,402. That's very close already. Remind our viewers, rental yield is the key.
So okay, good luck for your balloting and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!